Good morning, Tyre bochrim. We'll start with a story. There's a Rav, used to be the Rav in Kfar Chabad, Shmuel Ashkenazi. The big Gaon, wrote many books. A great Rav, passed away a few years ago on Chav Gimel Teves, Erev Chav Dalet Teves. He told the story that when he was a bacher, he came as a young bacher to New York by the Rebbe, and then he learned in Montreal, and at a certain point he moved back to Eretz Yisrael. When he came back to Eretz Yisrael, and he was still a bacher, and he went to the yeshiva there, but he couldn't find a chavrusa because he was an older bacher, everybody was younger, and also he was a genius. It was very hard to find a chavrusa. So there was a suggestions that people suggested to him that he should go learn at a specific institute. It's called Hari Fischel Institute, which is in Yerushalayim. Over there learned great Gaonim, married people, but since he was a genius and he was able to learn, suggested them to come there and learn there. So when he went to New York to the Rebbe, he wrote in his paper, in his zettel that he gave to the Rebbe on Yechidas, he asked the Rebbe about this, if he can go too, since he doesn't know Chavrusa. The Rebbe was very unhappy. The Rebbe spoke for 50 minutes. That's what he always used to say. 15 minutes, the Rebbe spoke very strongly of how a Bachat Temchet Mimim cannot think of going to a place which is not Temchet Mimim, etc. And the end, the Rebbe looks at his paper and his zettel, and the Rebbe says, I see that in the zettel he asked for Hatzlacha in Limud HaNigla, in learning Nigla, in Limud HaChassidus, and in Avodas HaTfilah. So the Rebbe says to them, why did you write Avodas HaTfilah at the end? Avodas HaTfilah is supposed to be in the beginning. And that's the reason why you had such a Hava Minah. Since Avodas HaTfilah is at the end by you, that's why you had this Hava Minah of living Temchet Mimim. There's the Rebbe Sayom Yoim, which is the Chav Gimel Iyar, famous Sayom Yoim, which the Rebbe writes at the beginning of the decline of a person's spiritual connection to Hashem, spiritual Avodas Hashem, is the lack of Chayes and Avodas HaTfilah, the lack of davening the way it's supposed to be. The Rebbe uses very strong words of how this affects, everything becomes dry, even mitzvahs and cold, the Rebbe says, and even mitzvahs that you're used to doing becomes a burden. And the Rebbe concluded there, and you're not even able, what the end is that even you can't even affect anybody else around you. The entire Chassidus, every Sefer Chassidus, every many Maimorim, it's all about when you learn, look at the Torah, Tanya, Avodas HaTfilah is the central thing in Avodas Hashem. The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya that in today's time, it used to be a concept of Teirosei Nosei, somebody who was able to learn Torah the entire time, and those people, those Tanoim, we know, only had to say Shema, etc. But today, Avodas HaTfilah is, the Alter Rebbe says, the most important things. Tfilah does not mean the way people translate it, prayer, asking. It's included there. But the real translation of Tfilah is connection. Like it says by the name Naftalim Torah, a Teifel Kleicheres, somebody who connects earthware. Tfilah is connection. This is the moment of the day that each one of you has the opportunity for a time of davening to become connected with the Eibishter, think about the Eibishter, and the rest of the day goes incredibly well when the davening is the way it's supposed to be. All of you have a beautiful davening and a beautiful day and an amazing summer.